All right, now welcome back here. We got a round 5 here. We got Emilio here playing, looks like some mono white humans. We got Carlos over here playing some Neoform Atraxa. Looks like with his good old companion Gigantha hanging out there too. See how this matchup goes here. I know humans can typically be pretty aggressive. You got a lot of different types of stacks pieces with Carlos probably just, trying to Neoform into Atraxa, draw a whole bunch of cards. So we'll see which deck can be a little bit faster.
Not that it matters in this matchup, but notably, Atraxa doesn't draw cards, so
No,
if your opponent has shielders, you don't lose 2 life for a card.
Nope. Gristlebrand, get out of the way. Do you think Carlos is on any battles for that extra sweet Atraxa battle get?
I'm not sure.
No.
Let's get the deck list and...
Yeah. Definitely sweet. I mean Atraxa is going to pick up little bits and pieces of everything, so see type of stuff. I mean, obviously, typical things you're going to hit. You're going to hit instant sorcery creature land, periodically planeswalkers, and then you can also get battles, which is solid. What's going on here?
The whole goal of the Neoform Atraxa deck is to put a bunch of cards in the graveyard, delve out Hooting Mandrills or Tasker the Golden Thing, then Neoform. Neoform is sacrifice a creature, go through your deck, get a creature that costs that +1. Delve doesn't care about casting costs when you have tons of cards in your graveyard.
Yeah, casting six mana cost spells for 1 is not too bad.
I hear it's good.
Yeah. Just gonna see Overgrown Tomb from Carlos here. So initiate. Oh no, that is pretty good here. Not too bad. With some humans. Savannah Lions definitely getting some upgrades since way back when. Play a Founding of the Third Path here. This will be pretty good. So it's gonna fill up your graveyard to be able to cast those Delve spells a little bit earlier, so that you'll be able to go off a lot quicker. Then, that obviously popping itself, also putting additional cards in there. So
2 Stubborn Denials in hand for Carlos doesn't seem like it's going to be particularly useful in this matchup. But these decks are both pretty much just 2 ships passing in the night. Mono White Humans trying to just be the aggressor and attack down as quickly as possible. And then Neoform trying to just cast big flyers.
Yeah, see a bunch of 1-drops. Yeah, no, I mean, not too bad running a bunch of 1-drops earlier. It does have Adelan in here, so being able to get Adelan now is pretty good. It's going to be pretty solid. Carlson looks like a Tassiger. He's got an Atraxa in hand. I'm not seeing any Neoform.
Neoform in the graveyard, though.
Neoform in the graveyard, which is good. Looks like he's going to shock here.
Probably play a Tasker or Hooting Mandrills.
So he's going to delve away everything except for the Neoform, so he'll be able to do that next turn.
With Founding the Third Path.
I'd say pass and, present Atraxa next turn. Let's see. I mean, Milosin looks like another Dauntless Bodyguard, and then just some more 1-drops. Ooh, Coppercore Vanguard. Ward's not too important when your opponent has a 7/7 lifelinker on board. And you're paying a bunch of one mana creatures, so that Vanguard is going to add some extra power on the board, though. So the beats are going to commence, especially with him sitting on two pseudo Savannah Lion creatures here, each of those dealing 6, and then the Initiate here doing an extra 2. So getting in for 8 here. If he does want to give up a creature, just have Mandrills as a 4/4, so that's still pretty big. Still getting around to those creatures.
Yeah, being able to block one of them is nice. I think you want to block like the Hopeful Initiate. You don't really care too much about your enchantment because next turn it's going to be gone anyways. Being able to... It's not that you have removal specifically. You have Fatal Pushes, and getting rid of the one that can protect another one is always good.
Yeah.
The less options you give your opponent, typically the better.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Carl's kind of deciding here what he wants to pop off.
Let me go fetch
Yeah, probably gonna take off the recruitment officer here. He doesn't want to get some. Doesn't want Emilio to get some extra value later on in the game.
Yeah. Well, the Dauntless Bodyguard is on the recruitment officer, so
Yeah.
if he blocks the recruitment officer and then Emilio sacrifices the Dauntless Bodyguard, you're basically trading 4 damage for 1 unblocked creature.
Yeah.
So instead of taking 4, you'd take 2. But I don't think Emilio is too concerned about that ability when he knows what's coming next turn.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking probably just to get in damage at this point. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and just get Neoform, play Neoform. Let's get into Atraxa.
Yeah.
How many cards are we drawing? 5? 6?
Probably at least 2.
At least 2.
At least
yeah,
2.
Not bad.
Yeah. So what does a win look like here for Emilio? Like, what can Emilio do right now to win against this 8/8 lifelinker?
Yeah, I mean, he does have 3 ossifications hanging out in his deck somewhere. He does have Brave the Elements, which will sneak through, I think, of just exactly enough damage. So that's good. He's got 2 of those with 3 ossification. Other than that, he's got a bunch of lower power creatures. He's got another Copperco Vanguard, Thalia's, the Adeline is good. It's in on 1 Knight Errant of Eos in here as well, but that's not going to do it. That's just going to draw him some extra cards. So, I mean, 1 of 5 outs here. I think he's sitting, we believe, looks like another land, and then there's a white card in there, so we'll see what that is. Let's see what Carlos hits off of these, though. Oh, ossification won't do it because he does have Stubborn Denial. So really, it's not much, because Stubborn Denial can counter anything. He's got instant, land, creature, sorcery, Neoform. It's kind of showing.
Notably, though, he needs to. Is the second Dawn's Bodyguard on the Coppercoat Vanguard?
I believe so.
So he can fatal push the Coppercoat Vanguard. The other creatures have Ward 1, and without a second land that's in play untapped, he can't actually target them.
Yeah.
He could cast a Tassiger to block, but it looks like there's a lot of damage that's potentially coming through. Maybe he wants to take the Watery Grave, pay 2 life, put Tassiger into play.
Yeah. See, I mean, he's going to gain
He doesn't
7.
have enough card in his graveyard, though.
Yeah. Gain 7's going to be pretty good here too. I mean, do you just want to leave up Stubborn Denial just in case? Because then you have to tap out to be able to jam Tassiger.
If you're concerned about Stubborn Denial, I definitely like taking the Otawara.
Yeah.
Did he not take a land? Oh, he took a
He
Mana
took a
Confluence.
Mana Confluence.
That seems interesting.
Yeah. The Atraxa hanging out here.
Yeah, so notably, Amelia does not have Brave the Elements or Ossification.
Yeah, see if we can get maybe a little peek of what he's got. Carl's just discarding the Tassiger he just got.
Yep. It's like if he does have Brave the Elements or Ossification, it's not exactly lethal because he can try to kill the Coppercoat Vanguard, sacrifice the Dauntless Bodyguard, and then he just loses one of the attackers.
Yeah.
So now all those other white humans get +2. Coppercoat gets +1s.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see if he wants to snap off a Fatal Push in response here. Or he's just going to let it happen, and then he's going to play a Thalia's Lieutenant. It's not too bad here. I mean, he still has the option of Fatal Pushing one of the Vanguards, but it's a bit of damage, but it's still not enough to get past Atraxa.
No. More notably, you can Fatal Push the new Vanguard. It won't get rid of the one that that would be attacking if he goes all out. But
Yeah. Everybody getting some counters on all of those dudes with that Thalia's Lieutenant, so I was kind of mathing it up here. It's like, what do I want to do? Yeah, luckily Carlos is the blocker in this, so math is for blockers, so.
well,
Yeah, Milo just coming in with everything. All right, Carlos taking one here. What are we casting? I'm just
Probably
gonna
a
snap up
fatal
fatal push. Yeah, it's gonna get rid of that other one here. Thinking if he wants to do the attacking one or the non-attacking one. I'm gonna get rid of that attacking one. Get off some extra damage here, and then block one of these creatures, essentially negating the attack. 2, 3, but then that's taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then gaining a bunch of life. So, which is gonna be totally fine. We take an 8 here. Yeah, Carlos gaining a bunch of life though, so that's going to be pretty solid. Emilio not with any cards in hand. Carlos still with the full grip. Carlos drawing a Thoughtseize, not really doing too much with that. Yeah, Atraxa getting in
and closing this game very quickly.
Yeah, buffering that life total. Nice healthy amount there. So. Carlos kind of hangs out here, just leave open Stubborn Denials.
Don't really need to do too much more. It's very unfortunate for Emilio that Atraxa has a lifelink.
Yeah.
And there's several ways for him to combat it outside of that, too. If he had lethal on board and having the Ganjo, he could have attacked everything. Whatever creature Atraxa decides to block. He could have just Ganjo'd the blocker, so damage wouldn't have happened there, and then push through other damage. But you can't really just sit around either.
Yeah.
But if you're not net positiving on your attack, and you're sacrificing a bunch of your board just to push a few pieces of damage that isn't going to put him lethal next turn, I think it's better to try to wait and see if you can hit the Brave the Elements or such. Because having those 2 extra creatures would have probably been a little bit better, because most of the creatures in Carlos's deck fall under either green or black. Atraxas both, so you can kind of tailor it to whatever he's got in play.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like he's just looking to play another Founding here and then a Tassiger. Still have a Stubborn Denial open just in case Emilio does draw that Brave. Still wouldn't be enough damage. Still not. I mean, Carlos had a healthy 17 here against an aggro deck, and it's not doing it.
Yeah. Specifically, leaving on Mana Confluence too. If he did draw like an Ossification, a lot of people don't necessarily equate having Mana Confluence to having Stubborn Denial, so it might not even be on his radar.
Yeah.
Even though it's a very common counterspell in this deck.
He did draw a spell, maybe another Thalia's Lieutenant. I mean, he's got a Luminary Aspirant, right? Sometimes
It's not going to be good enough.
No.
Emilio needs a lot of help.
Yeah, none of these creatures are big enough to deal with Atraxa.
Does Emilio have a Brutal Cathar in his sideboard or in his main deck?
In his main deck, it looks like he does not. He has 4 Brutal Cathars in the sideboard.
Yeah, that hopefully he'll bring them in for the second game.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good amount. I mean, he's had Brutal Cathar, Giant Killer, and 2 Declaration and Stones for this matchup. All of those, getting rid of Atraxa, but
one of those does not get Stubborn Denial.
Yes.
Unless you play the Giant Killer and you just keep Atraxa tapped.
Yeah. Yeah, Giant Killer turn 1. Let's go. Yeah, I'm just gonna pop off a push here. Maybe Carlos here still worried about double Stubborn Denial is with your opponent have no cards in hand is, not.
Yeah, you don't
not
need to
too
leave
worried.
it up at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's just gonna get rid of the Vanguard here, get more damage off the board. But
this game is pretty much over.
Yeah. I mean, 14-point life swings are just absolutely huge when you're trying to play
16 because he gets a +1/+1 counter from Neoform.
Oh,
as if it needed.
Yeah, because that's better.
Yeah.
He's just gonna jam here.
interesting enough, just attacking with Tasigur to send a message.
Oh, yeah.
Spoiler alert, I don't think that he only attacked with Tasigur.
Yeah. Just playing with his food. He's just gonna chump block so he doesn't die. Just gonna probably play another Delve creature here. Mandrills.
No reason not to.
Yeah. Why not? Just play more creatures. To make your opponent extra dead. Emilio is drawing that Brave the Elements, but just a little too late here. Would have been good a couple turns ago. But yeah, we already kind of went over Emilio's sideboard here a little bit. He's got other stuff. He has 4 wedding announcements. He has the 4 Brutal Cathar, 3 Thalia Heretic Cathars, Giant Killer, Portable Hole, and Deckenstone. So expecting probably Declaration Stone, Giant Killer, and the Brutal Cathars.
Yeah. Carlos has 2 Glissa Sunslayer, which is the new Glissa, 4 Ray of Enfeeblements to deal with this specific deck, 2 Abrupt Decays, 2 Mystic Disputes, 2 Change the Equation, 2 Duress. So, Duress not particularly something would imagine would come in, change the equation. You know, these cards aren't really for this matchup, right? Like, having counterspells to counterspell things is great, but Supper Denial is doing a pretty good job of covering the bases that we would want them to.
Yeah.
So I would imagine if he wanted something extra coming in or is worried about specific stuff, he'd bring in the Abrupt Decays in addition to the Radiant Enfeeblement.
Yeah, not open deck list, so Carlos doesn't know that Emilio's on these ossifications, but one can presume. Which, you know, Abrupt Decay would be good at dealing with, but it also just hits creatures and gets around ward. So you don't have to pay that 1 extra if that ends up being relevant at some point in the game. So looks like Carlos putting in 6 cards, probably exactly what he's doing. The 2 Abrupt Decays and the 4 Feeble. So see how this next game's going to go here. Still got that beautiful Gigantha in the side. That card gets very close to casting Atraxa. It produces all the colors. Oh, and as a good reminder here, we got jersey pre-orders coming up. They're available right now on the TCS Rockets website, tcsrockets.com. You can look snazzy, gamer, Magic player, board game, Warhammer, whatever you're feeling. They look good. So definitely check them out before I miss that. They're open until the 30th. So definitely get one. Chaz, you're looking pretty nifty here with your jersey.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to get mine early. Very comfortable. Normally I don't, wear button-up shirts, but this one is just, it feels like it's wearing me.
Yeah. Well, it definitely looks good on you, so. Still doing some shuffling here. Emilio probably thinking, how do I deal with an Atraxa?
Yeah, Brutal Cathar.
Yeah, Brutal Cathar. Brutal Cathar or bust. Yeah.
Notably, though, you have to be careful when you Brutal Cathar. If you Brutal Cathar an Atraxa and then Carlos then Fatal pushes it, he gets an additional trigger from Atraxa.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that is definitely better than 1 Atraxa trigger is 2 Atraxa triggers, so.
However, the second Atraxa won't have the +1/+1 counter, so not as good.
Oh, no, that's awful. Why would I even bother playing at that point?
Yeah.
Just leave it under Brutal Cathar. Just Neoform into another Atraxa.
Exactly.
Easy game. Yeah. Ooh. Sorry, Emilio. Spoiler alert, he's playing Plains.
Didn't sideboard him out.
Nope. Right, I'm starting off here. I'm going to go ahead and take a wild guess that Emilio is going to be on the play. Looks like his hand's looking good. You got Initiate. I see a Brutal Cathar in there and a Thalia. He's only 1 land? Oh, only 1 land. Ooh.
Carlos's hand's looking really good. He's got Darkspeak Shores and Botanical Sanctum. He's got Removal. He's got cantrips, ways to fill the graveyard. He's got a creature. Looks like the only thing he's missing is Neoform itself.
Yeah. Just luckily with all this card draw, we're gonna hopefully dig into that nice and quick. But Emilio's gonna go down to 6 here. Which isn't too great. You usually want to try to just get as many creatures on the board. Just try to go nice and fast and don't give Carlos the chance to be able to hit that Neoform into Atraxa. If we get a nice curve out here, then we don't have to worry about it too much. But hopefully Emilio can keep his 6 here. Ideally, 1 or 2 lands is totally fine. Like, we want to eventually get that 3rd for Brutal Cathar. Kind of picking Emilio's hand. Looks like he got 0 lands in there. He's got 1. And
got a bunch of 2-drops. You got Brutal Cathar, Thalio's Lieutenant, Amina Harker, Recruitment Officer.
It's kind of a rough keep 1 land here.
Yeah, but going down to 5 is also tough, especially in this matchup, because you want more velocity of cards and you want more volume, and going down to 5 against decks that have significant amount of removal and then can move quick.
Yeah. Like,
so
no good.
Sometimes you just have to put all your hopes and dreams in the top of your deck.
Yeah. Sometimes you get there. Like,
we did not.
Not with that.
You got a second Mina Harker.
Yeah.
Good card against this matchup, but not when it's not on curve.
Yeah. Does have another 1-drop, so at least he does still get to advance the board here. But definitely need to hit that 2nd and 3rd lands. I mean, sitting on Thalia plus Brutal Cathar is definitely something you want to try to get. See Otherworldly Gaze here from Carlos.
Carlos finding the Neoform. Notably, Carlos casting Otherworldly Gaze other than Ray of Enfeeblement, even though Emilio missed his 2nd land drop. It shows that he feels that his hand is pretty strong. He's looking to set up more so than control the board. So he's trying to get this game over with.
I was kind of thinking here, what does he want to keep? There's a push in there and a Neoform. I mean, maybe just bishing whatever that extra blue card is. I don't think it's removal. I mean, it's kind of... I mean, if Emilio goes no land, go, you just pop off both of those creatures. It's...
Well, he doesn't have a 2nd black for the Fatal Push, but I do like keeping the Fatal Push and Neoform on top. If you're playing against mono white and they keep a 1-lander, the rest of their hand is just creatures or interactive spells.
Yeah.
So having more interaction yourself really helps facilitate it, even because he knows he has card draw. He knows he has the ability to keep playing a bit larger area of card volume than his opponent. So
he's gonna go ahead and just founding here.
Yeah,
it looks like he drew Fatal Push, probably got the Neoform on top then, so he's gonna get it back in this one. Yeah, I think that's what he did. He's gonna cast this for free. He's gonna snipe off that so here.
Yep.
Not doing too much. Just get a Savannah lines off the board.
And drew an Adeline.
Yeah, I'm
not
hitting
gonna
the
get
land
there.
with Emilio. Just initiate the beats.
Game is over before it even started.
Emilio not feeling too good.
So now with a land from Carlos, he can play a creature and then Neoform it in the same turn.
Looks like no land from Carlos. Looking to be considered here. Let me see if you can find a Tassiger or a Mandrills.
He found a land.
All right.
So he's got a Fatal Push and another Ray of Enfeeblement. So he's got the board covered at least. And Tassiger to be able to block.
Tassiger, right. Yeah, so we got set up for Atraxa next turn. Emilio, that's not looking too good for Emilio here.
Yep.
I mean, sitting on 1 land, Thalia would have been nice 2 turns ago.
Yep. Well, next turn, with Founding of the 3rd Path going to 3, he can cast Raven Enfeeblement on the creature and then still Atraxa into play with Neoform. After attacking for 4, of course.
Yes.
Because then your 8/8 turns into a 2-turn clock rather than a 3-turn clock.
Yeah.
Although with how the game's been progressing, it doesn't seem like it's going to matter much.
Yeah, this Emilio does not draw another land here.
Did draw another
Shaking
1-drop,
us out.
though. Can
Yeah.
advance the board.
That's true.
Yeah, but if I pay for basalt, I'm gonna.
I'm not feeling too good, probably. I was just like, sorry, man, here's another removal spell.
Still had all these. Besides the Neoform from the graveyard rather than a removal spell and use the Neoform from his hand.
Okay.
When your cup runneth over, I guess it doesn't really matter one way or the other.
Yeah. Yeah, when your opponent's sending on one creature in one land and you have an Atraxa, yeah,
Yeah.
not too good, so. I mean, Emilio's only got one turn here, essentially,
Yeah.
to draw out of it. He's got to draw, like, land ossification, and hope Carlos doesn't have a counterspell.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling there may be one among these top 10 cards. There's an Abrupt Decay that also just does it. Is that enchantment? Here's a creature. Here is an instant.
Got sorcery and land.
Sorcery land, perfect. Look at that. 5 cards. Sorcery doesn't want another Neoform.
To be fair, to get these 5 cards, he has to have an 8/8 in play. So,
Yeah.
like, is he really getting that much advantage having to have a creature in play?
Yeah. Creatures are bad.
Yeah. Like, control decks don't play very many.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Yep. Well, I guess I'll draw 5 cards and have my 8/8. Seems fine. I'm gonna see a shock here. Maybe leaving open Abrupt Decay for some reason. Maybe thinks Emilio's slow rolling his land ossification go.
Nah, there's no way he's running that impression. That would be the ultimate fade play.
Yeah.
Man, I missed 8 land drops.
Yeah.
Or did I?
Yeah. Yeah, Emilio's gonna scoop it up here. John, that one land, he had all the answers, but you got to be able to play him first.
All right, well, and that'll conclude our round 5. Coming up next, top 8. Can't wait to see you there.
It'll be great. See you then.